The senseless tragedy at Sandy Hook Elementary School still reverberates around our nation. There were heroes, so many that came forward on that fateful day, including the child on the screen, 6-year-old Jesse Lewis, who told his classmates to run when they were faced with pure evil. Well, tonight we are speaking with his father, who says his son wasn't afraid of anything. And the nation's war on heroin addiction, it hits very close to home. Staten Island is dealing with an epidemic that is tearing at the core of many solid families. Tonight, we're hearing from two strong parents who are sharing their story after losing their son to the drug. We're also hearing from a man who says he battles his addiction every day. Plus, a new report card is out on the state of some of New York's bridges, and dozens of them didn't make the passing grade. Do we have to brace ourselves for a potential tragedy before something is done about the crumbling infrastructure? Good evening, everyone, and welcome to RFL. I'm Richard French. Thank you so much for joining us this Friday evening, May 9th. The evil that unfolded at Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newtown, it happened a little over a year ago, and the unwarranted and unprovoked attack that was taken, it stole 26 innocent lives, vast majority of them children. And it still rips at the hearts, obviously, of the people, not only around the country, but the globe here. 6-year-old Jesse Lewis, he lost his life that day. He, one of the many heroes who stepped forward in an attempt to save lives when confronted by the gunman. Lewis, he told his classmates to run when the gunman stopped firing to reload and put another clip in his assault weapon. And some of his classmates, they got away that day because of his bravery. Well, last week, a new playground at West Beach in Stamford, Connecticut was dedicated in Jesse's memory. It features his favorite colors and even some of his favorite sayings, including a message he left on his family's chalkboard that said, "Healing, nurturing, love." The playground initiative, developed by the Where the Angels Play Foundation, was created by New Jersey firefighters. And Jesse's playground is one of 26 set up to go in the name of a victim, each victim of that Sandy Hook tragedy. Now, earlier today, I spoke with Jesse's father, who says this is just one of the many ways that his son's memory will live on. And for more, we are now very pleased to be joined by Neil Heslin, who has spoken candidly about the pain of losing his son Jesse in the tragedy at Sandy Hook. 6-year-old Jesse Lewis was one of the heroes on that awful day. In the face of evil, he overcame fear and he ordered his classmates to run while the gunman reloaded his clip. And as I said, Neil, so much pain came out of it, but so much good has also come out as well. And so many people that you've seen firsthand that have turned some of this tragedy and tried to make out of something awful. Not only to remember these beautiful kids here, but also pass it on to the next generation. We saw that with the dedication just a little bit ago of a playground in your son's honor. I know that meant a lot to you.
It most certainly did. It was an incredible feeling. I had mixed emotions originally about not about doing the playground, but it's a sad reminder of what happened. And when I was intended on and planned on being there and being part of the playground and building it, and I supported it 100%. But it's hard because everything is just a sad reminder of what happened. And the only reason we have a playground is because, in Jesse's honor, is because of his death, our loss. But when I went there Friday, we all started to work. It was the best feeling to see all the firemen come together and the community. And what really touched me was how supportive the whole city of Stamford was and all the people that came out to be part of it.
Obviously, the world was shocked a year and a half ago on that awful December morning. But you have to live with it every day, as does your family and all the other families impacted. I saw the Soto family was there too with you.
Correct.
And for those who don't remember, they lost a daughter, a first grade teacher. And I know you said, and others did too, and I think the family, that there was a feeling that they were there too. your son, their daughter, that dedication, while I'm sure it reopens wounds that never go away, there's a connection that you'll never break with those other families, right?
That's true. You know, it's when you lose a child, you become part of a club that nobody ever wants to be part of, and we're all part of that family now. But Miss Soto, Vicky Soto, was Jesse's teacher, and he thought the world of Miss Soto. He'd talk about her all the time and what they did in class that day, and what I knew of Vicky. She had a great personality, and she loved the kids. That was her students were her life. But after Jesse told the kids to run, and why he didn't run himself, I don't know. But Jesse was killed 2 feet from Miss Soto, and that's where their bodies lie and rested, was 2 feet apart. Jesse was, after the gunman reloaded, Jesse was shot in the forehead once, fatally. And I'm very proud of him for what he did, and honored that he was able to get those other students to run. And God bless them that they're here to live their lives out. But it's definitely, it's a life-changing experience, and it's nothing, I know at this point, it's nothing I'll ever get past or get over or forget. But when I lost Jesse, it was like I lost an arm and a leg. It was crippling. Like you didn't have anything to hold you up and nothing to support you. It's something I would never wish upon anybody to have to go through.
Everything I've heard is not only the heroism that day, but he was an amazing kid.
Oh, he was. He was. If you met Jesse once, you'd remember him for life. He was just a crazy little kid. A heart of gold. He loved life to the fullest. And so often people would refer to him as a 40-year-old midget.
Tell people about the treasures.
Yeah, we were back in 2012. He was working with me on a job. That summer I would take him.
Construction project.
Yeah,
right?
Construction project. It was a new home, but he loved going there, and loved hanging out with the guys and the workers, and they all thought the world of Jesse too. But he had throughout that summer, that month period, he had collected a bunch of just pieces of pipe, wire, just scrap construction material, and he called them his treasures. And I said to Jesse, I said, well, we'll have to take your treasures home with us. And he said, no, Dad, it's just a bunch of junk, Dad. And I said, well, they're your treasures. We'll save them. And and when this tragedy happened in December, as he called them his treasures and then referred to them as junk, became real treasures. And I saw him the way he left them in the basement, and I had to pick them up, and I brought them home.
I was surprised. You wanted to, and you did sit down, I think for a 5-hour conversation with Adam Lanza's father.
Approximately that long, yeah.
A lot of people could never bring themselves to that. Why did you want to have a conversation that for so many people would be so difficult?
Well, when that happened on December 14th, I didn't like what happened. I knew I couldn't change it. I guess what I struggled with the most was Adam Lanza killing himself. I know two wrongs don't make a right, but I wanted to get my hands on him, and I was angry. I guess it's out of self-pity, but I literally wanted to get my hands on that gunman. And I guess him committing suicide and killing himself was, in light of the tragedy, was the best thing he could have done. It spared us all from going through a lengthy trial, and the agony of having to deal with him that he was still alive. But shortly after it happened, I put the word out I wanted to talk to his father. And I received a text message about 4 o'clock in the morning one morning, and it was his father. And it said it was Peter, and he said he was available to meet with me and talk with me, and I met with him. Peter Lanza is an incredibly good and nice person. I'm glad I had the opportunity to meet him. He struggles, from what I could understand, with the same question we all do: why?
A question obviously we still do not, and nor will we ever know the answer to. We're going to have much more with my conversation with Neil Heslin right after this quick commercial break.